Okay, guys, and welcome back to Caitlin's channel. I am so excited to be here with you guys once again. But I honestly just want to thank each and every single one of you that have shared, that has subscribed, and that is just with me throughout this journey. I'm going through all the nerves and all of the fun things that we go through when we jump out of our comfort zone. And I'm just honestly so excited to be here with all of you. And I'm truly, truly blessed that you all are here and you all actually have hit the subscribe button. So if you are watching this one and you haven't subscribed, you just go right on ahead right now and just hit that subscribe button and be excited for what's to come, because what's to come is going to be so incredible. Like I said, though, it is nerve-wracking, starting something out of your comfort zone, but it's also so rewarding because it's nice to be able to just talk and be there and just help people through so many things. And so again, guys, throughout this journey of mine, I'm going to be talking about many, many different things. I'm going to talk about motivation, consistency, fear within, getting out of that dark cloud, just so many different things, relationships. As you can see in the back, I have my sharks. Sharks are a huge part of my life, and we'll get into that a different time. But there's just so many different things that I'm going to be touching base on, and I'm so glad that you're here for it. So let's dive into today. Today, we're actually going to talk about me a little bit, because for all of you guys that are new here, you might not know who I am or where my background is or where I come from or any of that. So let's get started on that. Okay, guys. So I am in my 30s. Let's not say what I am, because let's be honest, we don't want to talk about age. But I am in my 30s, and I just want to go back to my story of how and where I got and why I'm here now and why I'm doing a podcast and why is it that all these crazy things are happening and transitioning in my life. And so let's go back. Let's go back to, gosh, oh my goodness gracious, going back to when I was a kid and I was in retail. I was in retail for 15 years of my life. And yes, I was in school. Sorry, guys, this is real life. My daughter is here, so you might hear her in the background. But in saying that, what I want you guys to understand is that for 15 years of my life, so growing up, I was in retail, okay? I started from the beginning. I started as just an associate and worked my way up the branch, okay? And so as an associate, I was associate at Sports Check, and then started running Sport Marts and was the general manager, and then closed those locations. I guess it was funny because I was like the closing manager. When everyone's seen me come into their store, they were like, oh no, like our store is going to be closing. And so I was closing all the Sport Marts. And then crazy enough, things happened when I was leaving the Newmarket Sport Mart. And I had found my soulmate, which is my spouse now. We have an amazing daughter, but we'll get into that in a minute. But at that point in my life is when I was 24, and life was just starting for me. And it was just so crazy on how we met. But again, we'll talk about that another time. We're not going there right now. And so what ended up happening is I ended up closing all those locations, and I left there and I went to Reitmans. I don't know if you guys know Reitmans Canada, but they also owned Time Eternity, they owned Pennington's, they owned Additional. There's many, many places that they owned. And so I was a part of that. I was a part of that branch. I was a part of that, the entire company. And so I was a training manager. I was a general manager. I had multiple teams. And it was honestly a lot of fun. But there was always that feeling within, is this all? And I don't know about you guys, but if you do, and if that's the feeling you have sometimes, like this and share this, because I feel a lot of people come into this in their stage in life where they're in their comfort zone and they're just all about what it is that they're doing, but not realizing that there's so much more out there. And so I had that feeling all the time where I was like, is this my be end all? Like, is this all I'm going to be doing? Am I going to see more? Am I going to be going to bigger and better things? Like, what does that look like for me? And so that was always in my thought. That was always in my background. That was always in the back of my head. And then I'm going to be honest and real with you guys, then COVID hit, and that was a really big thing for so many. And, I'm not going to dive into that, but it was a big thing for me as well, because I was a new mom at that point. I just had my daughter, and I was a new mom, and I was, I think, 6 months in, I think it was. And it was crazy to think that 6 months in is when life just happened. Everything just went for a turn, and it was so different, and life was just nothing I expected, being a new mom and like losing my job, and then all this fear and all these things come at you, and they're like, you get so scared of like when your next paycheck is coming, because bills don't go on hold or on pause, but sometimes your checks go on pause. And so you get into that fear. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, that's exactly where I was. I was in fear at that point. I was a new mom. I was only on maternity leave. My fiance at the time could not like do everything on his own, because like we needed 2 incomes. And it was crazy, because it was like, what are we going to do? And I was just, having all this fear inside of me, and being a new mom, and just having to be present, right? Like having to be present, having to be that mom, because that's all I knew at that point, right? And I thought to myself, is this something that is going to help me get out of my comfort zone and build to something bigger and different? Or is this, just like a stepping stone to maybe I have to go back into retail? And so there were so many different questions I was asking myself, like, is this it? Am I going back to retail? Am I going to find something else? Is this my purpose? Am I always going to be in retail? Am I always going to be doing those types of things as my career? And, it's just, you ask yourself all these questions. And let me tell you guys, that was me. I was asking myself all these questions. And then I came to realization that fear is always going to be there, right? Being in your comfort zone is always going to be there. But it takes you, the one watching this right now, it takes you to just change the direction of your life. And so really think about that. Really, really think about that. Take a minute and just really think about that. Think about the direction that you want in your life. Where are you right now? Is that the direction you want? Are you there because it is something that you feel as though you want to stick to? Are you only there because you're comfortable being there and you're scared of the unknown? I'm going to probably say that a lot of you are scared of the unknown. I was too. I was so scared of the unknown. I was so scared that I didn't know where my paycheck was coming from. I was so nervous. I was all that you could possibly imagine right now. I was there. I had all the feelings. I had, I was very insecure at that point in my life. I was very down on myself. I was, I just didn't know what that looked like for me. I didn't know what was next for me, until I found an opportunity that was really out of my comfort zone. And it was crazy that 3 years ago, I decided that the direction of my life was no longer going to be what I was told to do. It was not going to be that job that I didn't want to do anymore, right? I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to do something different. And so I took a leap of faith in myself. Because here's the thing. I know who I am. I know my worth ethic, and I know what I can bring to the table. And so ask yourself that. Do you know who you are? Do you know your worth ethic? Do you know what you can bring to the table? Do you know how to change the direction of your life? And you're probably like, I don't know. Like, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm right there with you. Because I was too. Until I decided that it was time for change. And so I honestly started a health and wellness company, and I've been doing that ever since now for 3 years of my life. It's totally changed the direction of my life. I never have to go back to retail. It's honestly been a true blessing. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about how, taking a leap of faith, taking that, extra step out of your comfort zone to really dial into what your life is or what your life is supposed to become. guys, I never thought I'd be doing a podcast right now and telling you guys about my story and, going and talking about different things about my life. But here I am right now because get out of that comfort zone. And so that's what I did. I got out of my comfort zone, and it was honestly the best decision I have ever made. And it's going to bring me into so many things going forward, because once you get out of your comfort zone and you really dive into you find out so many things about yourself that you had no idea. Okay. I always knew I had a love for sharks. Always knew I had a love for them, but I didn't know it went so deep. Okay. I always knew I loved adventures. I always knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, even when I was a little girl. I never thought it was possible until I made it possible, right? Until I decided that, hey, you know what? It's my time. I'm going to make this possible. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to change the direction of my life. And so that's what I did. And that's what I'm here to go over with you guys is consistency, fear, discipline, motivation, just things to really change you within and in your center core, where you're like, I get what she's saying, but I'm so scared and I don't know how to do it. Well, guess what? In things to come, in what is coming ahead, you're going to get that. You're going to get that from me. And I'm going to share these tips with you. And I'm just going to go over so many different things with you. And it's going to be amazing because I found my core. I found who I am. I've grown to love who I am. And I want each and every one of you to grow to love who you are. Whether that be you're a man, whether that be you're a woman, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. But the best thing about it is you love yourself. And that's what I've been able to do. I've been able to truly interact with my inner and know who I am and know what I want and go after it. And that's what I'm here to do for you guys. And so that's just a little bit on my story. Being a mom has been a blessing. Being a stay-at-home mom has been even better. But the best thing about it all is that I get to help you guys do that. And so I'm super excited for what's to come, guys. I can sit here and talk for ages because if you know me, you know that I just love to talk and I love to just inspire other people. But mostly what I love the most is that you are here right now and you are listening and you are just going to get so much from this that you probably won't even know. So, guys, again, hit that subscribe button. Let me know that you are here. Comment below. Let me know what you want to hear about, and maybe we can interact and talk about those things because it's going to be amazing. There's going to be special guests coming on. There's going to be so many different things down the pipeline that I know you're going to want to be here for. So hit the subscribe button. Let's chat. It's gonna be wild. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be wild, and I'm just so excited you're here. So, again, share this with friends, share this with family, anybody that can, get or benefit from anything that I'm saying or talking about or in the near future talking about. So definitely hit that subscribe button, share this. And other than that, guys, like I'm always going to do, let the day have the best you, and we're going to chat so soon. Bye, guys. Take care.